to start.
Ready? 3,
Thanks for
2,
that.
1. Let's go. Welcome to Middles Open. I'm Michael Morris. Sitting in with me, Doug Risher and
What's
Lou
up?
Willard. Boys, how are you?
Doing great.
Another cold day.
I'm excited, and I know Doug's excited because we're going to talk Super Bowl. That will mean
There's a Super Bowl
we
coming up?
won't talk football all summer long. We'll probably talk crew soccer or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's
Can't
one
wait.
of those Canadians. But I thought I was going to ask this question of you guys because we've never talked about this. I just heard it on the way in. Did you realize that the Saints lost to the Vikings on the, what is that called? The Miracle, the Minnesota Miracle?
Oh, yeah.
That Hail Mary play where the guy dove and he didn't want to get pass interference, so he dives and they blow it that way.
Right.
And then they come back and get that no pass interference called on that. Back-to-back years, the NFL hates the Saints. And I just want to point that out.
The referees from LA hate the Saints.
They just have
Somebody hates the Saints.
So
'cause-
the four referees from LA like the Rams better. That ref that game. So
Bobby Hebert, do you remember who? Lou, you know Bobby Hebert.
I remember the
he
name.
was the what they call him, the Cajun Rocket or something like that. He was the quarterback for the Saints when they were just like 9-7 every year.
Oh, yeah.
He wants a rule put in that if you are doing a game, the referees can't be from that state or an adjoining state. So if you're from Vermont, you can do all the Chargers games
There you
you
go.
like as long as they're playing Kansas City. How are you going to police that?
yeah, that'd be tough to manage that.
Again, can we stop this?
Lou, you're the
It's
one that's
absurd.
upset that the Patriots
No.
are in there and the Saints are
but
not.
I also had to sit here and defend them last week because everybody was being ridiculous about changing the overtime rule.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Michael was the only one that wanted that.
I wanted that because if we go back to that Philadelphia game, the Bears should have won that game. There are controversial calls. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
you got a kicker that's a rock star out there. He's taking tours.
Yeah, and you know
Him and
what?
Ray Finkel, touring with Ray Finkel.
Here's the thing: in the fall, he can go to Europe because he won't be around here. He
Yeah,
can
he
tour.
will,
He
right.
can be on any show he likes.
He'll have a wide open schedule.
Be on that new London team they're going to give us.
Yeah.
So real quick, did you hear that rumor about the four refs that are from LA? You don't think there's anything to do with that, or
I
it's just
think-
that happens to
here's
be
what I
a
think.
coincidence?
I think the league hates the Saints because of the whole Bounty Gate thing.
Well, that could be possible. We just know they hate the Saints, love the Patriots, but no, that does not have anything to do with it. LA's the second largest city in the nation.
Yeah,
The odds of having a couple of officials
Yeah.
out of there is pretty good.
that's a pretty good.
Yeah, but to have
perspective.
4, that's amazing. It just happened to be 4
So
guys.
how
from
many
But it was
refs
four
are
that
there
they
per
were.
game?
There
There's
is
7 total, right?
7 total,
Okay.
And
one
one
upstairs. Yeah,
So out of the 8, there's 4 from LA.
but weren't they 0-8 with these guys at their games?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Okay.
unfair because Eric Dickerson was one of the referees, but I mean, I'm sure he wasn't.
Yeah,
pointing.
Wendell Tyler was the back judge who didn't throw the flag.
Well, I'm just bringing it up. It's just something that I noticed earlier in the week, and I figured I'd bring it up to see if
No,
there was
I
any
just
kind
I
of
thought it was
perspective.
interesting because we've talked about all this other stuff, but I didn't realize the miracle in Minnesota was the Saints as well because we forget because that was just a divisional round game, and then they're a step away
Yeah.
from going to the Super Bowl. That's where I see the conspiracy theory, but that's okay. We're putting that away. I just thought it'd be an interesting thing to start.
Well,
with.
I will say I have to give Drew Brees some props. He was telling everybody to take their energy and do something good for your community instead of trying to get this game.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
just.
I think that's a
thing is
good way to
silly.
approach it. You know,
I mean, and they got
it's
moved to
over.
federal court. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, now y'all affecting with tax dollars.
Yeah.
You got to stop. I
There's
mean,
plenty of time. The government has nothing else going on right now. They should be hearing this case.
well, they got another vacation coming up in a few weeks,
Right.
but that's beside the point. Right now, let's shove this one in there. After the game, Drew Brees is playing with the Suns on the field. At the end of the day, it's still a game.
That's
These
exactly
people
what he
losing
said.
their mind.
It's just a game. There's people that could use all that energy and put it towards something that's more important.
Because
So-
let's just say the Saints would have won. This coming Monday, they would have all been crying about how they got cheated by the Patriots when the Patriots blew them out.
yeah.
The Saints couldn't have beat the Patriots. There's no way.
Well, that's what we're here to talk about. Well, not the Saints. Now, Doug, this is your time to shine. Okay? We're running out of moments where you can kiss the ring of Tom Brady and Belichick. So I want to get into
Did
your
I
thoughts.
show you that picture with the ring, the Super Bowl ring?
You did show me that. That wasn't Brady's ring. I think
Rodney
people-
Bailey's ring. So
It doesn't matter. It still counts.
yes, it was
The
the
only-
size of my hand.
Let me tell you what I think is odd. The only negative that I've heard said about the Patriots or either team is that the defensive backs are saying Brady is too old and has a weak arm, and they're comparing it to like Peyton Manning when he got housed in the Super Bowl by Seattle.
How is he too old when he gets them to the Super Bowl?
He's 40.
Okay,
And one.
right. I'm about to be 41. I don't feel too old. You know, but
I don't
I'm
have
not
the scheme
comparing
on
myself to
defense
Tom
to
Brady,
stop
but
you.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if he's too old, how is he still getting them to the Super Bowl year after year?
Well, the
it's
Peyton
not-
Manning
it's not just
comparison
him,
is
but-
dumb anyway because Peyton Manning had neck surgery. That's
Yeah.
what took all of his strength out of his arm.
On his forehead.
Yeah, well, his forehead is carrying that cereal box around his whole life. But
He looked like Frankenberry.
didn't he? I mean, just put the plugs on his temples and he's ready to go.
He's
Keep
having
some
7
jumper
feet off the
cables.
ground.
But yeah, he's not too old. It's just, it's more, at least my hatred for him, I can make fun, but I recognize how good the guy is. I mean, the people saying he's not good anymore, that's just absurd.
Right.
Just because he's not egotistical enough to force his team to let him throw 45 times a game, he's willing to run it 60 times if they win and only throw it 20.
Right.
I mean, but as a quarterback, you want to play till you're 45. Why wouldn't you want that? If I'm only going to throw it 20 times, odds are I'm not going to get hit
Right.
because they don't call holding on my team. See, I slid that in there. I mean, that was just, I had to do one. But guy's not too old. I like how the Rams tried to backtrack off of it, though.
Right.
I would have just doubled down on it because, come on, you meant what you said. They gave you the microphone and told you it was hot, and you started talking. I'd have doubled down like, oh man, he's absolutely too old. I just told you he was too old.
Yeah.
You
He's
never-
absolutely too old.
You never hear that
Grandpa.
Joe Namath where I guarantee we're going to win. You hear somebody say something like, well, you took that out of context. I know I said that verbally and told you to write that down, but it's not what I meant.
I even checked your spelling. Everything was right.
I've been meaning to bring this up for weeks. You just brought up Joe Namath. Have you seen that commercial that he's in for like some life insurance for older people? And
Yeah.
The very end, he's like, I guarantee it. How old is Joe Namath now?
Yeah, he's got to be
70s?
70 some. His
Yeah.
body's 130.
He looks very fake. It's
He looks like a sack of hammers with a head because he just looks all brittle. I hope he's doing well, but after that whole kissing Susie Colbert thing on the sideline, notice if they don't ask him to do a whole lot of stuff
Yeah,
anymore.
he doesn't get to do a lot of
He
interviews.
was in that Brady Bunch episode.
Well, I think we all remember that. That's the highlight. I hope they play that instead of the second half of the Super Bowl because once Maroon 5 comes on, I'm turning that off.
Everybody's turning it off.
Um,
I mean, am I the only one that don't know a song they sing?
what, Luke, you were singing to me in the parking lot all the Maroon 5, the love songs. You don't know the upbeat stuff.
You
It's
got
all
that
right.
right.
You're
You got that
sensitive.
right. Now I know my slow jams. I just don't. Hey, listen. But I got nothing for them.
They're not bringing their slow jams.
No.
to the
Yeah,
Super Bowl
I don't
halftime
have
show.
any idea. When they announced it, I said who,
I can't
and I
believe
was
it's a
dead
controversy.
serious. I had no idea.
That's a
Adam
bigger
Levine.
deal, though. I have heard almost nothing about the Rams. Like, nobody's talking about
They're
it.
just,
Hey,
it's Maroon 5. That's all I'm
that's
hearing
a good
about.
thing.
They're talking about the advertising, they're talking about Maroon 5, and they're talking about Brady and Belichick. And I think the way I'm looking at this is I look at this like this is a very fun team to watch, and the window's going to close faster than you think because they have a lot of talent, but they've got 1 or 2 years to do it. And Goff reminds me of Jim Everett. Remember him?
Yeah.
Jim Everett was
Smack
the golden
Jim
boy.
Rome.
Yeah, well, that was the coolest thing that guy ever did.
Ever.
But when you saw that guy, you thought that's the future of quarterbacking right there. I don't see that in golf. I see that somebody that's an entertaining offense, but you wait until that is Cam Newton. Remember Cam Newton was
Yeah.
that's the prototype, and now Carolina doesn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, I think he'll be. I think Goff will be around for a while as long as McVay's there because McVay is that quarterback coach. But their window is short because they signed so many one-year guys to big deals. They took their shot last year and this year, and now next year if they can get a couple of them back, they may still have a chance. But
Their window's
their
closing.
window was closing, and they knew it when they signed them. I mean, they didn't even try to sign anybody to a long-term deal.
So they're just trying to grab that while they can. They're not looking long term.
Yeah, you get a Super Bowl. I mean, you're good for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Generates
Yeah,
before
cash.
anybody starts getting upset with you, you're good for 10 years.
Yeah. Well, we won that Super Bowl back 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like Atlanta goes to the Super Bowl, but we don't talk about it anymore. To me, that's what you're looking at is that team that's ramped up. You're going to get one shot versus the Patriots are built with a bunch of guys that bag groceries, but year after year, it's
Yeah.
almost like a convergence of all these parts. And I'm going to let you score, but I'm not going to be able to shut you down. But I'm
Yeah.
going to let you score enough, but I'm going to get the ball last and I'm going to score.
Right.
Whereas these other teams, it's kind of like, Lou, remember we'd go to the rec center and all the old men would be there? And we're like, we're young, we're faster, and they would whip our
And you
tails.
get run off the court.
Yeah, and you go, I don't even understand what just happened because their skill, they were used to playing together. It didn't matter
They're
how much
actually
faster.
passing the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I can relate to that. I remember being 18, seeing a guy that's 30, and be like, oh, I could take that guy. No, I couldn't. That
Yeah.
guy's got man strength compared to my 18-year-old back then.
Yeah.
That's what
But
makes you
that's how I
laugh.
feel. That's how I feel this matchup
Right.
is you've
Yeah.
got a lot of young, hungry guys versus guys that
Experience,
know
know
where
how
they're
to work together. So why don't other teams follow that same game plan more often?
They go out there a different type of player. I mean, you look at the fact that, and I always address the Steelers because that's the team I know the most about.
Right.
They gave Antonio Brown $58 or $68 million, and he's still not happy. So
I mean, it would be
imagine
hard
if
to-
I came to him and said, "Listen, we're going to give you 20, so we can go get this player and this player and this player and win a Super Bowl." He'd have looked at him and left.
Right.
So the Patriots get guys to take that. I don't call it a discount, but they get people that want to win. They get
Right.
people that buy in. They understand how it works, and it's one way. And their owner has allowed that to be. The owner has allowed that head coach to tell anybody that they can hit the door and get moving. That they don't need them. Other organizations don't operate like that.
Well, I get like the players, they want to make their money while they can, but wouldn't you like to have some of these Super Bowl rings, on your resume? Because I would rather get paid $20 million and have a chance to win a Super Bowl because we snagged a bunch of other great players that work well together than make a big fat payday one year and then never make it again to the
I
playoffs.
mean, look
or
at
the Super
Anthony
Bowl.
Davis in the NBA. He's Gary turned down, what is it, $253 million guaranteed dollars to get out of New Orleans. We all know he's going to go play with the Lakers, but they can only give him 180.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, at the end
But
of
that
the
is
day,
still is
though,
a big difference, though. I mean,
But
They
he's also
take-
taxed at 54%, so really it's not 180, it's
Yeah.
more like 110.
yeah, but somebody takes $70 million from you. Phil Mickelson said it best. Hey, I don't care how much money you got. You know there's $10 million missing from your account.
right.
But if they would just want to win, because a Super Bowl ring, I'm assuming you could turn that into 10 or 15 years after you're done playing, worth of money still coming in.
Yeah.
So, but everybody's got to make their own decision.
He has a job. He was the backup quarterback for the Patriots when Bledsoe was there, and then when
Good
Brady.
old- yeah,
He's
that
doing their radio. I mean, he's still employed by the team. He's
Really?
still got that ring.
Still doing the ring. Speaking of rings, so like we were talking about Josh Gordon, he'll still get a ring if they win.
He's
Even-
still on the
yeah,
roster.
yeah, that's
and
crazy.
they're putting him through rehab,
Yeah.
which I got to say that is really. Other organizations, I think, would just move on. I'm
A,
sure
a
they
lot,
want
a lot
back.
of a lot of them pay for the rehab for the guys. A lot of them will do that, but that's not the Patriots coming out saying that they're doing that. That's somebody in the media going, "Hey, they're
True.
doing that." Well, Cleveland paid for his rehab once too. You know what I mean? Pittsburgh has paid for several players' rehabs because we had a bunch of weed smokers at one point in time. Probably still got some.
Well, they can't
but
see
they-
very well, Lou. They got
Yeah,
to clean up
it's
their eyes.
glaucoma.
Yeah.
Glaucoma.
It's cold
But,
there.
but that's a perfect example of the Patriots to take a chance on somebody that nobody else would.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out. But when I look at the difference in these two teams, the Rams have a lot of small wide receivers that they are very quick. So you're going to have to keep them in front of you. Gordon, I didn't realize it. I didn't actually look this up. He caught 40 balls for 720 yards, and he wasn't even there that long. It wasn't. That's not over
Yeah.
16 games. So you're taking that out, and you've got Chris Hogan, you got Edelman, and you got Gronk, and they can't outrun any of us. And yet somehow they're all going to get 5 or 6 catches in the game. It's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Because they went to running the football when he left. When he left, they put a focus on running the football, and they can run the football on you. So if they can run the football on you, you got to drop a safety in the box, which means you one less DB back there to stop these guys from running crossing routes.
Right.
Because they're not beating anybody downfield to beat them across the field. You think they're going to cut out? They cut in. You're on their hip, and they got Tom Brady throwing them the ball. That's a catch.
But he can't throw, they said.
That's right. He's too old.
I could see it, I guess, if it was, I remember watching Dan Marino, and that guy was throwing the ball 50, 60 yards on a rope. They're not doing that anymore. So when I'm looking at Brady, I'm looking at, it's not really dink and dunk stuff, but you have such few weapons, and you're making the most out of it. And I look at what the Rams are going to do. I think all the pressure is on Goff, and which one of those wide receivers is going to step up and be the guy.
Yeah, because, the Rams' first thing they have to do is figure out if Todd Gurley's, what's he going to do? He's obviously hurt. Hopefully 2 weeks he can heal up because you want to see the best game you can see.
Right.
But they got to figure out, if you're the Rams, who is Bill Belichick going to take out of the game? I think he's going to try to take Robert Woods out of the game because Robert Woods is underrated. That dude's good. And it really came out when Kupp got hurt. I mean, he was their go-to guy. I think they're going to try to take him out.
See, if they had Cup, I would give them more of a shot.
Off that Cup, they'd probably be favored because the offense would have never slowed down. I mean, they were averaging 30-some-odd points, like even more than they are now when they had him. But they got to figure out who he's going to take out of the game because I don't think they'll try to take Cooks out because they know him because he was in New England, so they know what he can do. I think they're going to try to take Woods out, and like we have in the notes, when you put them together, if the Rams can run the ball on them, they're going to beat them. You know, but you can say that about any team.
Right. So you think Gurley's going to be 80% back?
He's going to play,
right.
but
those 2 weeks off going to be enough?
They better hope so,
Yeah.
because I don't think C.J. Anderson's going to get you a Super Bowl ring. But, you know, Timmy Smith did once for the Redskins.
It
So
only,
I could be
takes
wrong.
one time. Timmy Smith was a
Yeah.
big deal.
C.J. Anderson come out looking like Tubby Tolbert. You know, Mike Tolbert from the...
Yeah.
He came out looking like Tubby Tolbert. I said, oh. And balled out on the Cowboys. So anything's possible, but the thing is you're going to have to beat the Patriots. They're not going to beat themselves.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go out and beat them. And is Goff good enough to go beat them? He was good enough to go beat the Saints, but the Saints are not the Patriots.
Well,
So
I also
and the Saints kind of got screwed. But
They did.
Nobody has ever said that at all. Not in the media, not on this show.
I just came to that conclusion right now.
My bigger question is on the Rams' defensive side of the ball. How do you stop Donald? Now, if they double him, they chip him, and all that kind of stuff. If you slow that down, you've got a really good chance. I think if Belichick can game plan to stop him, I don't worry about those defensive backs back there, and I don't worry about Peters. That guy's a nutcase back there.
Yeah, well, if you can't pressure the quarterback, I don't care who you got back there. I mean, you could pick them from the greatest of all time. They can only cover for so long.
Right.
You know, but I don't think the Patriots will have great success running the ball because the Rams' front four, I just don't think you're going to run the ball on them like that. So Tom Brady is going to have to beat them, but is that such a bad option?
No.
Other than the fact that the Rams think he's old,
Yeah.
I think the Patriots will take their chance going, okay, if we're relying on him to beat you, we'll take our chances.
Odds are in their favor. That's
Well,
for sure.
Yeah.
Doug, you've seen probably more Patriots games than anybody here. To me, I think that early on, they're going to try to run the ball. It's not going to work. So they're going to kind of dink it and dunk it down the field to take that pass rush away.
Right.
I can't see the Patriots not going up 2 scores to begin with, and then the Rams having to play catch up on the way back.
Right. No, and then the Patriots will try to just keep the ball, run out the clock, and like what I've seen them do many times throughout the season. They come back after the half, whatever they figure out what they've been doing wrong. Whether you say that they're going to be up by 2 scores going into the half.
And I'm
or
not saying
whatever.
14 0 I'm saying 10 0 I think they're
Okay.
going to score in 2 possessions. I think it's going to take Goff a while to get going.
Right.
But it reminds me of the Bills, that whole K-gun offense. They were never out of it because they can keep throwing the ball.
Right.
Whereas the Patriots, I don't think, can win that way. I think they have to mix it up.
No, they
constantly.
definitely do mix things up. They piecemeal their games together. It seems like they find maybe the running's not working, so we'll start tossing the ball a little bit. Then they go back and forth, and somehow they've proven that they figure it out.
Well, they're the
Belichick
only
obviously
team
good
in
at
that, and I hate to give them credit, it takes the fun out of my day. But they're the only team in the NFL that can honestly sustain a drive. And I mean a 12 to 14 play drive
Right.
that lasts 7 or 8 minutes.
Right.
So if they put 2 or 3 of those together, there's 24 minutes of possession in a game that's only 60 minutes long.
Right.
So they're keeping the Rams off of the field, and it brings the score down, and it puts pressure on the Rams to score every single time they get it. If they can pull that off, and with that type of ball control, the Rams don't stand a chance.
And with that added pressure that's the Super Bowl, my
Yeah.
God, I can't imagine feeling that stress.
That'll get out. According to guys that's played in it, that'll go away after the first 1 or 2 times you have the ball. Then
Right.
then a football game breaks
Yeah.
out. But 1 or 2 times that you have the ball, you can be down 10-0
Right.
dealing with the Patriots. So because
But
this
if
is their 3rd straight trip.
But if things aren't going your way, don't you think that pressure starts to really amp up some?
I'm not sure if the Rams are going to feel that because remember how it started in New Orleans. I don't care who they're playing. That place was rocking. It was loud, and they could have got run out the gym early, but they withstood it.
Yeah.
And so I think they'll be fine because McVay doesn't seem to panic. And they're going to do whatever the coach does. If the coach doesn't panic and start to abandon the pass or the run, the team won't panic.
Did you see that video of the Rams coach having that guy that
get
constantly
back-
pulling?
the get back
Is
coach.
that really
yeah.
some guy's job?
Yeah, Urban Meyer had one.
Really?
The get back
Where
guys.
does
Yeah.
that get paid? It's kind of.
I hope it's like 85,000. I hope it's something
Yeah.
so absorbent that
Something
you can't believe
ridiculous.
someone
And
gets
that guy
paid
gets
that.
a ring too, if just for pulling the coach
that
back.
job. That's why I gotta really watch what I say on the show. But that's an interesting job.
Are you saying that because you're going to interview for that job?
Yeah.
You seem very,
He's like, I'm
you're
actually.
thinking it through.
I wasn't sure quite what to call the job.
Yeah,
So
the fluffer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when he's grabbing around the waist, it's very Titanic. But I just
How do you even apply for that job?
it's usually one of the strength coaches,
Okay.
not the head strength coach, but
So
one
it
of
says
somebody the way.
he's wearing multiple hats. So
Yeah.
You're saying, okay.
Yeah, that guy didn't.
He's
look
going to be at all the games anyway. They're giving him something to
He
do.
didn't
Yeah,
look like a strength coach. He looked like a massage therapist. So
See, that's what I was going to
Sven.
call him, but
Sven.
I'm saying,
Sven.
we're just saying that's his job,
Yeah.
grab men.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
To each their own.
So I know Doug is not going to pick against the Patriots,
No.
but I want to
What?
know what's the outcome going to be?
Score wise,
Yeah.
Ooh.
you know, I'm going to say 28-24 Patriots.
It's a good game.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a good game. I don't want it to be a blowout either way. I want something to be exciting, and that way we have more to talk about. But seriously, like I think the Patriots are going to pull it off. Their experience, the amount of times they've been in this position.
But are they winning it at the end? Is it going
Yeah,
down the wire?
I think it's going to go down to the end. That's what I'm thinking.
Lou,
Listen, I know y'all think I'm going to pick against the Patriots.
I'm waiting for you to pick the Steelers. That's the bad
Well, I would.
2020 Steelers.
I
Yeah.
would, but they only take two teams. They don't take the fifth best team out of one conference. But the end of the day,
Go that high.
well, yeah, they probably not. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with the team with the better record and take the Rams.
Okay.
See? The
That's
Rams.
such a. do you
So
see-
earlier we
They
were
gotta-
going to switch seats, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, let me have my original seat because, like you said, the Patriots win every time I'm in this seat. So we'll see if it.
You
plays
see how
out
he
like
was
that.
squirming, trying to come up with a reason, and he wouldn't
The
just
Rams
say,
are 13-3.
Lou, just say the Rams. That means nothing.
Yeah,
Who
say
did they
that.
play? Who did they
Patriots
play?
11-5.
They played San
Patriots
Francisco.
11-5.
They played San Francisco twice. And the
I know you ain't gonna
Cardinals
talk about divisions with the Jets and the Bills and the Dolphins.
Lou, in 1968, the Jets won the Super Bowl. They've been contenders ever since. The Dolphins, very good. Dan Marino, he has a restaurant in Miami. He's
Well,
very
and
good.
his isotoner gloves too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in
In Miami.
he had a wedlock with that CBS producer. He's got a lot going on in his life. You gonna knock some other team in the AFC East? It's
No,
ridiculous.
evidently not. That's
So Lou's got the Rams, and you got.
I'm
what?
taking the Patriots. And
Okay.
I'm saying it's 31-17, and I
Okay.
think it's only 17 because of a late score at the end in garbage time.
yeah. I would say then I'd have to go Rams probably 30-27. It's gonna be a really
So,
close
close
game.
game.
Yeah, it'll be a close game. I think.
But who is gonna? Who
But the
is gonna pull-
halftime show, that's what we really want to talk about.
I won't see it.
He will be. He'll be dancing.
I might be up there behind them,
I want you to
getting it
do.
in.
I need you to go on Facebook Live during the halftime show, Lou, because I want to see what you're doing. And I know you'll be dancing to Rachel? What's one of their songs?
Moves like Jagger.
Moves like Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
Do you see that thing? He's like, I don't know what it is.
He's
He
in his
knows
70s.
what it is.
Terrible song.
It's his ringtone.
Yeah, that's why I turned it off when I came in. I knew what we were gonna talk
He
about.
was like, Ben Roethlisberger has this as a ringtone.
He may.
So we're all in agreement that Lou is lying and that the Patriots are going to win. And then who's coming out of it as MVP?
You know they're gonna give it to Brady if the Patriots win.
I don't know about that because I think Gronk is going to retire after this.
Gronk won't have a big game though.
You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think
They're
he'll
gonna
have a
shut
big
him
game.
down.
I don't know if they'll shut him down, but I mean, to me, 7 catches and 70 yards isn't a big game for
No, that's
Gronk.
true.
You know,
If it's 7 touchdowns, it will be.
But I see like
you got that right, and Brady gets it.
I see
'cause
them
he
giving it
pulled
to
him him.
Brady. Like I see the Gronk perspective, but I think Brady gets it 6 rings. I mean, how do you not give it to him?
I'll give you that. Over under Todd Gurley, 70 yards. Not total offense, rushing.
No, it's got to be rushing. No, I'd have to say under, but if it's under, they're not going to win.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest factor.
they
If
have
I
to
gotta-
utilize them.
Yeah.
If I got to count on a guy that I just picked up 6 weeks ago that was not even a starter somewhere else.
Yeah, you're just not going I'm picked the team with the best record. I'm gonna just say that, but they're not going to beat the
2
Patriots.
wins against Arizona, 2 wins against San Francisco. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they count. They count.
that's not your strategy the rest of the time.
No, but it is today.
Today it is.
It is today. It is
He
today.
will defend his
Admittedly,
choice.
admittedly, it is today. But if the Rams, if Gurley doesn't rush for close to 100 and catch another 60 or 70 receiving, I don't think the Rams can win. but hope I'm wrong, obviously. But should be a good game, though.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
Well, that's going to be it for this week, boys. But when we come back, we can talk about. I'm going to let Doug pick what we talk about because he's been footballed out, I think. And here's the thing: we probably would have discussed more than NFL playoffs, and we would have done MMA. But there
really hasn't been much going on except for the Conor McGregor thing, which we can bring that up next week.
I totally would like to do that because I can't believe he got suspended.
And that's about all I know about it, so I need to look into it some more.
Yeah, he got suspended because a dude jumped out the cage at him, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a big mess after the whole fight, and so we'll see what happens.
He's 1-0 against buses, though. We will give him that 1-0 knockout. That's going to be it for Middles Open, and we will see you next week.